Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. We have a question today from our friend Paul. He says, I'm a white belt stuck between weight classes in grappling, light heavy weight and middleweight, which has caused me the conundrum of either trying to cut down or bulk up for competitions. Okay. Competition is anxious enough, where you represent your team and coach as well as yourself and the time you dedicate to training. Those are important things to me, but not the end-all be-all. However, weeks leading up to competition, I don't know what weight class to compete in. I walk around 84 kilos. Most competitions I compete in, it's either 82.3 kilos for middleweight or 86 kilos for light heavyweight. This makes me anxious in the lead up to the competitions. While the result is not the most important factor for me, I'm afraid that I will walk to the scale and not being at the weight for my respective division, meaning I will have already lost without competing. It affects my training as, rather than focusing on a skill set or tactical plan, my only priority is the scales. My question is, what do I do and what's the best mindset to adopt? All right, Paul, my friend. I get that, man. I get that. I've seen many athletes, many that I've coached myself, struggle with the anxiety over this. They're close to the smaller weight class, so they want to cut down, and they were just like a few ounces over the weight limit, and so they were disqualified before they even stepped on the mat, and that is one of the most disappointing things. I would recommend, especially since you put it, winning and losing, that's not the most important thing for you. It's going out there, competing, focusing on your game plan, testing yourself, representing your coaches and all of that stuff, right? I would recommend go up a weight class. And here's why. Cutting down, especially since most grappling competitions have day of weigh-ins, meaning you step on the scales right before you step on the mat, sometimes an hour, maybe less. As opposed to, say, MMA or other professional combat sports where you have that 24-hour period to rehydrate and all of that, and if you miss weight, sometimes they'll give you 30 minutes to make it up, and if you miss weight again, maybe they'll cut a chunk off of your prize money or something like that. But generally in professional fighting, they allow that fight to go on one way or the other. In jiu-jitsu tournaments especially, they are very, very unforgiving. So I have seen exactly what you're going through. People just being cut and disqualified because they were just a little bit over. So to reduce that anxiety, just go up. Just compete as a light heavyweight. Even if you're a little bit under, and I know that, 4 kilos? That's not nothing. It may not sound like a lot, especially to people who don't compete in grappling tournaments, but it's not nothing. It matters. It makes a difference, especially when you have bigger guys cutting down to get into that light heavyweight division. But even though it's not nothing, it's not so much weight that, these guys are just going to crush and bruise and destroy you. So the most important thing, cut out the anxiety. And in order to do that, take the easy road in this sense. Generally, when people ask advice from me, I'm telling them, take the hard road, work for it, and all of this. But this is different. In this case, take the path of least resistance. The yielding path. The yielding way. Isn't that what jiu-jitsu means? The yielding art. Anyway, and go up a weight class. Put your mind on the game so you can focus on your game plan and not, am I going to tip the scales or not when I step on there? That's my advice. I tried a few grappling tournaments that same way, trying to cut down. And it's rough, especially when you don't have time to rehydrate. So you really can't afford to be cutting down anyway, unless it's a tiny little bit of weight. Like if you're 1 pound over, and if you spit in the bucket and pee or something like that, you're going to be fine. If you know that, fine. But if it's like 4 kilos, again, that can and will have a major effect on your performance, especially if you have a lot of matches in your bracket. If there are a bunch of guys in your bracket and you've got to do like 5, 6, 7, 8 matches in a row, and the white belt divisions usually are the biggest, in grappling competitions, man. That is going to make you sweat. And if you've already sweat out, lost a bunch of electrolytes, you're going to start cramping up a lot. And then it's not just anxiety you'll be dealing with, it will be, you won't be able to physically perform. So, in the case of jiu-jitsu, especially these amateur competitions where you're not being paid for it, you're at the white belt level, you're there for the experience, just go up a weight class. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.